What's happening, VFF traders and investors? It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Wednesday, March 13th. Happy hump day. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Village Farms' recent Q4 2023 earnings. We're going to review them. They came out earlier today. We'll go over the analyst estimates. They did actually beat and miss. So they beat in terms of revenue and then missed in terms of earnings per share, so EPS. And we'll do some technical analysis towards the end. And there was some major volatility in the stock. So we'll discuss all that and more. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never, ever buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And full disclosure, I actually don't hold any VFF stock. If you haven't seen my MJ portfolio update for 2024, I break it down, my entire MJ portfolio with percentage breakdown. But this isn't a name that I hold. I may look to add it in the future, and certainly attractive now, sitting at 70 cents USD. So it's looking like I may look to deploy some capital into this. Let me know in the comment section below what your biggest takeaway was from this company, what your favorite thing is, and if you think I should add a position. But with so many different companies in the MJ space, it's really hard to diversify into everything. So you got to don't want to stretch yourself too thin either. But I think Village Farms could be, a long-term winner. Obviously, they're big into fruit and veggies and whatnot as well, but a little bit of a different company. And we'll go over some of the highlights here. I'm not going to go over the entire article so you can breathe a sigh of relief. But before we jump into it, they did have revenue of $74.2 million, and the forecast was $70.18 million, and that's USD, so a pretty big beat there. EPS came in at negative 0.2, and they were expecting negative 0.02, so there was quite a big loss there and big miss in terms of EPS. So I think that's what kind of overshadowed the beat on revenue. If we take a look at TradingView here, they were expecting 70.221 million and reported 74.225. Estimate for EPS was negative 0.019, so very similar. And then if we bring up Moomoo, you can see here based on 4 analysts, they were expecting Canadian. Not sure why it's in Canadian, EPS is in USD, but I digress. If we take a look here at the estimate, it was 96.272 million Canadian, and it came in at 100.215 million. So that's the Canadian number. And then EPS, they were forecasting negative 0.017, so slightly better. And then, like I said, negative 0.2. So that was, like I said, offsetting the beat in terms of revenue. And we'll just go through some quick highlights here. So they reported their Q4 and full fiscal 2023 financial results. If we take a look at the fourth quarter highlights, Canadian MJ delivers 14% year-over-year sales increase, positive adjusted EBITDA and cash flow. And then something that I didn't expect, they reclaimed their number 2 national market share position. And we know, like BZAM group, they've got creditor protection. There's been a lot of consolidation and insolvencies, bankruptcies in the space, so not surprising to see them regain number 2 market share. Organogram's got to be up there as well, and I don't think Kronos, but I'd say Organogram's got to be right there at their heels. Also, US MJ delivers positive adjusted EBITDA and cash flow, and that's mostly like CBD and whatnot. Fresh Produce delivers significant year-over-year improvement with positive adjusted EBITDA for the year. So annual highlights, consolidated net loss per share narrows to negative 0.29. Adjusted EBITDA improves significantly to 7.6 million. Cash flow from operations improves significantly to 5.3 million. Canadian MJ delivers 20-fold increase in net income and 10-fold increase in adjusted EBITDA, and all core businesses generate positive adjusted EBITDA. So we'll go through here. There's some management commentary. And if we go through down to the MJ section here, so Canadian MJ, Pearson Farms, and Rose Life Sciences, we'll just go over this here. Yeah, consolidated cash use was 5.2 million compared to 1.5 million for the fourth quarter 2023. And let me just go through here. Net sales increased 15% to 32 million. Or Canadian 43.6 million from 27.9 million or 38.2 million Canadian, an increase of 14% in Canadian dollars. Retail branded sales increased 5%, international export sales decreased 66%. And then gross margin was 23%, a little lower. We would like to see that. That's definitely nowhere near. You want to see it in the upper 40s, even 50%. If we can get there, great. But half of that's definitely pretty low. We want to see that definitely increase from there. We'll go through a little bit quicker here. So net loss from MJ, Canadian MJ, was 1 million or 1.3 million Canadian. Adjusted EBITDA was 1.5 million or 2.1 million. And if we scroll down a little bit, US MJ, so yeah, net sales were 5.1 million compared to 5.3 million. Gross margin was 66%. There we go. Net loss improved to negative 13.7. And then scroll a little bit quicker here. Adjusted EBITDA, Village Farms Fresh Produce. So sales were 37.1 million compared to 36.2 million. And they compare the prior year quarter. We'll go through Reclaim number 2 market share position across all product categories for the fourth quarter 2023. Rose Life Sciences maintained the number 2 market share position in Quebec, expanding its share in each successive quarter of the year. See if there's anything else worth mentioning. So they launched a new 1 gram vape as well. Premium brand, Soar brand launched its first 1 gram infused blunts as well. A lot of these companies are coming out with those with infused blunts. Village Farms was named the best Canadian MJ company at Benzinga MJ Awards for the 2nd consecutive year. So great in terms of awareness and company award, and great to see that this is definitely a company that's on my radar, especially with below $1. I think there's a lot of opportunity here. They talk about their international MJ as well. So they talk about international export market with primary focus on Europe. As we know, Germany and Australia, Germany coming online, first pillar, second pillar likely in 2025, so going to be huge. 9 of the company's best-selling strains in Canada are now being sold across 4 international medical markets, and they have a strategy in place to accelerate international export sales in current markets, while expecting to launch products in additional European markets this year. So they, subsequent to quarter end, Canadian MJ business commenced exports to the United Kingdom, launched Village Farms' most popular strains, Pure Sun Farms, with strains under the original Fraser Valley Weed Co. And to come, and subsequent to quarter end, the company commenced to build out its first indoor MJ production facility in Drachten, Netherlands. Through its majority-owned 85% subsidiary, Lely Holland, Village Farms holds one of the 10 licenses permitting it to legally produce and distribute recreational MJ in the Netherlands. So USMJ, yeah, so they talk about their visual brand for CB Distillery, revamped website. Let's see, go through a little bit quicker here. Ended the year with its highest product rating and expanded proportion of subscription-based sales to 69%. All right, that's pretty much it. So if we scroll down, you can see they compare a lot of the quarter from 2022 and full year financials as well. But you can see here came in at 74.2 for the total across all segments, and then negative 0.2 for earnings per share. And I did want to see if we could bring up, I thought I had everything highlighted, and for whatever reason it's not highlighted anymore, so I'll just go through this a little bit quicker here. Just want to see what their cash balance was. So I know a lot of companies in Canada are struggling with that. And let's talk about cash flow. I want to see actual cash and cash equivalents. Cash and cash equivalents. There we go. So for the December 31st, 2023 ending, we have 30.291 million. So not bad. And then compared to 16.676 million in the prior quarter of 2022. So we'll go through, we'll look at the chart here. So as of right now, I don't know what caused this volatility into the end of the day. There wasn't any major red flags. AYR, Cresco, the Cannabis Co. also reported today out of the majors. Send Wellness as well, and they talked about getting a refund for 280E. Sector was performing pretty decent. If we take a look, BZAM back up to 5 cents after restructuring and creditor protection awarded. But yeah, there wasn't any major bleeding today. VFF, one of the main ones, down today. If we take a look at USMJ, it was an overall pretty decent day. Cresco led the way, GDNS, and then AYR wasn't far off, but yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of red out there today in terms of the sector. And then the S&P 500 wasn't that weak today either. We basically daily insight are compared to yesterday, so we're just tightening up. So no major red flags there. But if we take a look at VFF on the daily time frame, you can see here we had a high yesterday, high of 85 cents, and then the low of the day today was 58 cents. So from the high of the day yesterday to the low of the day today, we were down about over 31%. So if anybody knows any information. I wasn't able to find anything. I was looking here on the news tab here as well. Record Q4 sales propel it to number 2 in Canada's MJ market. And there's been a lot of mainstream media coverage for VFF as well. I've been noticing like a lot of mainstream media saying that it's undervalued. But yeah, 85 cents down to 58 cents. So I'm not sure what caused that, but I guess maybe bigger than expected loss. But at this point, it's definitely a laggard, and it kind of reminds me of an OGI. It's a little bit further along though than OGI, because OGI was just starting the monthly bounce and then looking for a higher low, whereas VFF has its monthly bounce and it's formed its higher low, but we actually lost support there at 63 cents. So we came down to 58 cents, and our low there is at 55 cents. So 55 cents must hold from here, or else it's a downtrend continuation on the monthly time frame. Whereas a lot of names, like if you just go to my YouTube channel, go to community, scroll down, I actually posted, it's been a while since I updated that. This was 1 month ago, but current MJ monthly uptrends. You got Cureleaf, AYR, Green Thumb, TrueLeaf, MSOS, IIPR, Verano, TerraSend, C21, Grown Rogue, and Nova MJ. So the fact that a lot of MJ in Canada is lacking, and then we could potentially see VFF drop to a lower low, which means it would be a monthly downtrend continuation. So it's definitely a lot weaker, but this could be a monster entry here playing off 55 cents support. So again, I wasn't able to get it at 58 cents, but we're sitting at 70 cents. I think that's still a steal at this point. And if we get any kind of headline, DA reschedules MJ or whatnot, this could absolutely send things flying. And we know I just posted a video yesterday as well. If you go to the YouTube channel, I mentioned that there's potentially some changes coming to MJ excise taxes. And then in this video, Tilray CEO Irwin Simon mentioned that it could switch from a flat fee to a percentage fee, and April 16th is the date to save, because that's when the federal budget comes out, and that's a lot of speculation. That could be right before 420, when we get some improvements to excise taxes. We know we're due for a spring release with regards to an update with the MJ Act review, so a lot of things could be coming down the pipeline. We know that Florida potentially on the ballot. I think that's a done deal, and then go live in 2025. Pennsylvania, Ohio, you got Germany, first pillar, second pillar in 2025. You got safer banking gaining traction, rescheduling hopes. Like, there's so many catalysts, it's not even funny, and this could be a massive entry opportunity. I may even look to enter a position as soon as tomorrow, to be completely honest with you. This would be in my registered retirement account, because I did max out my TFSA for 2024. Canadians got an extra 7,000, so I'll more than likely add that to my retirement account. But you can see here we're pretty bearish on the weekly time frame. We closed below the 10-week moving average. We had a big clue on the stochastic way back in February. The first week of February, we're cross bearish. So usually when that happens, we lose the 10-week moving average. You see a MACD bear cross. It's not good. We can expect more downside from there. But that being said, we did get the MACD bear cross and stochastic out of the way. So from here on, over the next few months, like I said, I think we could start to turn the momentum back to the bulls and see some serious price appreciation to the upside. And then we lost the 50 weekly moving average as well. A lot of names are starting to trend back to their 200 weekly. Look at GTBIF. Look, it's getting close to its 200 weekly moving average. It came within a couple dollars, and it's well above its other weekly. It's 150 weekly, and we could even see a bull cross of these weekly moving averages, whereas VFF is below its 50 weekly. So if we were to do what GTBIF did in Green Thumb, it would put us somewhere around that 487 mark. But yeah, very, very weak comparatively from a technical perspective compared to some of our other names in the space. And we're nowhere near seeing a weekly bull cross of these moving averages. If we take a look at the daily time frame, we did have a golden cross, which occurred back it almost happened here, and then pretty much happened right around the end of the year, so in December. But now we're gearing up for another potential death cross with the 50-day above the 200-day moving average coming down. So there's been some volatility. It's definitely weaker from a technical perspective, regardless of what you think of these earnings. But let me know what you think of these earnings, what stood out to you the most. I didn't actually join the conference call. If you did, let me know if there was anything on that call that stood out, or what was your main takeaway. This is definitely a company that I've been following on the channel. If you just go to the channel and type Village Farms, it's a company that I've been following for a while. And I even mentioned, could Tilray buy VFF? They mentioned they were going to be doing fruit and veggies and whatnot, so maybe they would buy their division of Pure Sun Farms. Who knows? Anything's possible at this point. But yeah, I've been covering Village Farms for a while now. It's not one that I follow super closely, but definitely paying a lot more attention now as we look for major catalysts. And it's a screaming buy right now in terms of where we're at in the chart. And pretty low risk entry as well if you were to play off of 55 cent support with a tight stop loss. But if you're looking to add for the long term, I don't think you could go wrong at these prices, especially ahead of all of these major catalysts. And if we see improvements to excise taxes, if that goes from a flat fee to a percentage fee, we could see anywhere from 10 to $100 million worth of savings for some of these companies, right? So that will be huge. That will be the biggest catalyst for the sector in Canada going forward over the next couple of years, in my opinion. So going into there, let me know what you think of this earnings. You think I should add VFF to my portfolio? Always love hearing from you. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.